I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the two-time winner on the Challenge Tour this year, Danny van Trijp. Thanks for the time, Danny. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and we're talking only a few days before you make the trip to Leicester for the final weekend of the Challenge Tour season. How are you feeling ahead of an important weekend for your career?
I'm not nervous yet, but if I get the nerves this weekend, it will be positive nerves, like always. I hope I will get them. Yeah, I'm third place. I think it's going to be a tough weekend with many good players. Robert Owen, Stephen Burton, they are really behind me. And yeah.
We'll come back to this weekend later, but let's rewind back to the start for you in darts. Being from the Netherlands, how old were you when you got introduced to the game, and how did you discover darts?
I started in 2016. I was 18 years old. I had a birthday and we played for fun. And I liked the game, so I was going to do more tournaments and competition. And in 2018, I started with BDO at PDC. In 2018, I started with the development tour. And 2019, I had my debut at the Euro Tour. 2020, I played the UK Open. Now this year, I won 2 Challenge Tours. Played the Euro Tour, Tour 9 Dart at the Motor Series. So this year is my best year of my life, I think.
Definitely. Well, let's go through some of those achievements. As you say, 2018, you made that step up to the development tour for the first time at the age of 21. What was it at that time which persuaded you to give it a go?
I was happy if I had an average of 80. I'm a man of statistics, statistieken, if you call it so. I watch if I throw a game, I look after the game what my average was, and I want to know that. It makes me feel better. In the beginning, if I had an 80 average, I thought was okay. That's good.
Well, later that year, 2018, you had some deep runs on the development tour, a semi-final, a couple of quarterfinals. How much confidence did you take from those successes and beating some top players as well in your first year?
Yeah, I had always the same players at the semi-finals or quarterfinals. I think I had Ted Evans 5 times and I lost 5 times. Geert Nentjes 4 times, I lost 4 times. It was always the same players. And when I get to the semis and I had to play against them, I was like, I thought, I gonna lose this one. But now now it's different. I beat many players. And now I feel more confident.
As you mentioned, 2019, you ticked off some more milestones. You went to Q School, you played on the Challenge Tour for the first time as well. And as you mentioned, you made your debut on the Euro Tour in Germany. What was that experience like, being on the big stage for the first time?
First game was against Adam Hunt. I was a little bit nervous, but then when I had to do the walk-on, all the nerves were gone. I really liked it on stage. I enjoyed it. At every game till now, I enjoyed on the stage.
Well, that year, 2019, you also played your brother Wesley on the development tour. 1 win each. What was it like playing your brother in a PDC event?
Yeah, it was not hard because I play him. I play Wesley a couple of times in competition here in the Netherlands and the tournaments. And in the beginning, I think he was the better one. But I took it more serious. And now I'm playing Challenge Tour, Euro Tours, and my brother threw Q School, but he didn't throw Challenge Tour. But if I play against Wesley now, if I play 10 times, I win 9 of them, I guess.
That's a bit like my record against my brother. I'm sure he'll love listening to that. But later that year, you played another Euro Tour as well, the Dutch Darts Masters, your home Euro Tour, if you like, and you picked up your first win as well. What was that moment like, playing in front of your home fans and getting a win as well?
It felt amazing. I called the day before the Dutch Darts Masters. We had the qualification tournament. I won the final against Luc Peters, and I called my boss to say I qualified for the TV tournament. I was very excited, and he said, "Yeah, sorry, but you have to go to work." So I worked that day till I think it was 1 o'clock, and I had to play 12 o'clock, and I had to play at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So after my work, I went to Zwolle. It was a 90 minutes drive. I had a couple of pints, and I think I thrown for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I went on the stage and I beat Keegan Brown.
Wow, what a win that turned out to be then. And you also got a taste of the Players' Championship events as well that year. You played in 2 of them. You won a game in your second event. What was that experience like, being in that room with all the 128 players, a lot of the big names in those couple of days?
Yeah, it was nice to throw at that tournament. The first game against Dave Pellet, I lost with 6-5. I'm at the Challenge Tour and Development Tour. You play 2 tournaments a day, and now you play 1 tournament. So if you lose the first round, you played for nothing. And the day after that, I beat Simon Stevenson, missed match starts against Steve Beaton. But I thought I won a game. It was fine for me.
Moving on then, 2020 Q School comes around and you come so close to winning that tour card, losing out in the last 4 on the final day. Was that a hard moment to get over, or did you try and take the positives from it and go, I'm not that far away, one day I'm going to get that tour card?
No, I really felt sick after that. I had to throw up after that day because I was so sick of it. But the only positives of that day was that I qualified for the UK Open.
Yeah, that UK Open, your first PDC major a few months later. Again, you get a win on your debut as well. What are your memories of playing at Minehead and in an event this big like that as well?
Yeah, it was amazing. Many people... I won my first game, I think. I won my first game against Boris Kotsov. And then the second game, I played 96 average against William Borland, and he beat me 6-0. But I was happy that I toured the UK Open. It was an experience, really good experience.
Well, not long after that, the world shuts down with the pandemic, and for much of the next 2 years, it was very stop-start with a lot of breaks. How was that time for you? Did you play much darts online, or did you take some time away?
I never trained at home. So when the pandemic starts, I throw online tournaments like every day. But in 2021, it keeps... I throw less tournaments. So at the end of 2020, I threw my last online tournament, so I only threw for a year. And then I was, I didn't want to throw that anymore because I didn't like it anymore.
So how good has it been then this year, 2022? And we're going to come on to talk about a lot of the darts that you've played, but this must be the most busy year that you've had in darts. So many different events, so many different tournaments that you've got to play in.
Yeah, I have more tournaments than a tour card holder. I played the Challenge Tour, I played the Pro Tour, Mode Super Series. I played for the Dutch team at Six Nations Cup. I played in the European Championship last week in Spain. So it has been a really busy year for me.
Yeah, it definitely has. 2022. It's already been a year to remember. And let's get on to the Challenge Tour, because after losing in that final of Event 8, you go one better in Event 9 the same day to win the title. What was that day like, playing all those games, coming so close in the first event to a title, and then going one step better in the next round?
We went there on Thursday, and I was really sick. And they did the draw on the Fridays. And 30 minutes before the tournament started, I thought, I don't want to play anymore. So I called in sick, and I didn't throw the first one, and I didn't throw the second one. So I went to bed on 10:30 in the morning. So Saturday, I also was sick, but I thought I'm going to throw. And then I get to the final, and I lost against Stephen Burton with 5-0. I thought, first final, and when is going to be my second final? The tournament after that, I won.
Good times, and those runs, that gets you back in the Players' Championship events. I think you've played something like 11 Players' Championships this year, again picking up some wins, playing some of the big names like James Wade, Dave Chisnell. How have you found it on the Pro Tour this year, getting a lot more run of games?
When they did the draw in first round, I didn't get a seeded player. So I thought, if I don't get a seeded player, it feels more easier to win. And at that week with 4 Pro Tours in July, I won 3 out of 4 in the first round. And then last day I get Dave Chisnell in the first round. So, at day 1 I won against Scott Wade. So that day I get to the third round. So I was happy with the results.
And a second Challenge Tour title follows in July. You beat Jelle Klaassen in the final with a 95 average as well. What did it mean to back up that first title that you had earlier in the year, get a second one so soon after that first one?
After that one, I thought, oh wow, I'm really close to a tour card now. But we had 9 tournaments left. So I thought, if I win one more, I'm in a good position for a tour card.
And you mentioned you've had a lot of darts to play this year. How have you juggled playing all that and I guess still working as well? Has darts become full-time for you yet, or are you still juggling the two side by side?
No, I'm still working, but I think in April or May, I said to my boss I can't work 5 days. So if I can work 5 days, I work 5 days. But the 5th day is time for time, so I can use it when I'm next week. I took the week off. So normally I have to work 4 days and I get paid for 4 days. But if I can work 5 days, I work 5 days. But the 5 day is time for time. And that day I will use in another week.
Well, let's go back to this upcoming weekend. 4 events left on the Challenge Tour. You're in 3rd spot, which at the moment would get you that tour card and a spot at Ali Pali because of how well Scott Williams is doing in other tournaments. So how much do you look at the rankings? How difficult is it to focus on your own game?
If I'm still in the tournament, I'm fully focused on my own game. But if I lose at the tournament, I watch the other players. That gives me, how do you say it? Keeps me motivated.
Well, you're in a good position with 4 events to go, but as we know that the Challenge Tour, it is very competitive. 2 events in a day as well is a challenge in itself. But for you, if you were to finish the weekend in those spots, what would it mean to you to have that tour card and before that get to make your World Championship debut as well?
Yeah, I hope I'll get a tour card in the World Championship place. It means a lot to me. After all the years at the Q school, I don't want to go to a Q school anymore.
No, definitely not. Well, beyond this weekend, what else have you got lined up darts-wise for the rest of 2022? I guess we're going to see you in some more Players' Championships, possibly the Modus League as well.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the Pro Tours next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, after the Challenge Tour. I get an invite from that. And maybe if I'm still 3rd or 4th or maybe in the top 5, I can play the last 2 Pro Tours at 5 November and 6 November. And I'm going to throw Modus at 5 in the week of 5 December.
Excellent. Well, Danny, it's a pleasure to chat to you. We appreciate your time and we wish you all the best for this upcoming weekend, the final weekend of the Challenge Tour, and trying to get that tour card and spot at Ali Pali as well.
Yes, thank you.